You're watching the 420 Pace Network, found at 420radio.ca and paceradio.net.
You're watching The Three High Guys with Al, MJ, and the other Al on the 420 Pace.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Hi, guy.
Hi, guys. It's just Al and MJ today. The other Al is under the weather.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Al called in. Al called in and said he would make today's broadcast. It's just two of us.
Yeah.
So we're just the high guy. Well, we're still high guys. It's still multiple.
Yeah. Well, and they're high guys too.
Correct.
You were high guys.
All right, I did an experiment when we started those intros there this morning, and I did see one little issue there, and that's usually when they start up, it always shows the screen. So just for a quick blast there, it would have you and me before I removed it. Whereas normally, yeah. So next time I'll know to
technicals.
Yeah, technical stuff, new stuff. Yes. So you notice today I'm outside.
You are. I was gonna say when I said Al's feeling under the weather, I was gonna say it's okay because the weather is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm basking in the sun. I got my coat off. It's somewhere around 15 Celsius or 60 Fahrenheit.
I know it's crazy.
But 10 feet that way in the shade, it's cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in here in the sun, got at least this hoodie on, so it's nice and dark. It's absorbing the heat, so I'm doing good. But
nice.
the reason I'm out here is because today I'm going to be smoking some cannabis. I got 2 different strains I want to test out today.
Okay. I was going to say you always smoke cannabis.
Correct, but I don't smoke it in the house.
No, but you're testing on today's show.
Correct.
That's why.
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
I got 2 strains that I'm going to test during the broadcast, actually.
So, what are the strains? I'm just curious. I know we'll get into all of it later, but
Black Lime Reserve.
Okay.
Here's a nug.
Looks beauty.
From it. Nicely trimmed. Smells nice. And so there's that one. And then I've got some papaya.
Yeah.
Papaya. And I don't know if you can see that. Frosty.
That's pretty too.
Yeah. Yeah, these were sent to me from a friend out west. He says, "Hey, give these a try. Let me know what you think." So I said, "Hey, I'll do it during the broadcast. I'll do a live test, see what I think." So
I seem to recall Papaya Punch is a very good strain.
Yeah,
so similar to that. It's always hard to tell because genetics.
Well, and then different growers grow differently, and then there's so many.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
The thing. Okay, so I just want to say the fact that blew my mind was when I first started growing weed. When I was working at the hydroponic store, they're like, so if you have one plant and that's your mother plant, and you take cuttings from that plant and make a bunch of babies, all of those babies, even if grown in the exact same room, given the same food with the same light cycle, could still all turn out differently for so many different variations. Could be where it was in the tent. Could be it got more airflow. Could be is it the phenotype or
phenotype? If you've grown them all from seed.
Yeah.
Phenos can be different in each seed.
Yeah. So it's I just remember them saying, even if you pull all the babies off the same mother, so they're the same genetics, the same phenotype, and put them in the exact same location, they still could turn out differently.
Oh, I haven't heard that end of things, but yeah, every
Well,
grower is different.
What if you let that one grow an extra 2 weeks and all the
Well, yeah.
trichomes
You
are
could
more
have different,
amber?
for sure. Yeah,
So
different
like
kinds.
I guess it's not really different. It's just the yield might be different.
Mm-hmm.
The resin production could be different. The effect of how the
Different.
cannabis makes you feel could be different. But
Yeah,
I'm like,
because
and it's all just, the same lineage. It's just so weird. We're not even talking different strains.
grow longer, yeah, some of your THC could be switched over to CBN.
Yeah. I used to do that on purpose when I would grow. I would take some of it when it was like 30% amber, and then I would take some of it when it was more in the middle, and then I'd leave the rest until it was like all amber, because I was just curious to see what's the difference.
Differences, yes. Well, right now, just so you know, I am rolling up some black lime. I got it in the grinder.
Okay. My favorite is right after you grind it, that first sniff.
Oh yeah, and I made sure I used a clean grinder.
Oh, that's important if you want to get the true terpene profile.
I just can't think of what it smells like.
I wish they had things like smellophones, so you could smell that.
Yeah, really nice. It ground up really nice. No chunks. All nice and fine.
Is it more fruity smelling? Citrusy?
No, I didn't find it more fruit. Pepper.
Oh, okay. Earthy. Peppery.
Peppery. Yeah. That'd probably be a good word for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what we didn't do yet? We didn't tell people what's coming up on the show.
Oh, you're right. Exactly. So what's coming up on the show?
Well, we got product testing as well as a motivational moment. And I know we've got a healthy habit segment.
Do you? And I've got some news. I got some sports news. I've got some weather news.
Yeah.
You're waiting to see this.
And even though we don't have our third high guy, we did manage to pull in a list for you guys on the top selling ounces currently at the OCS.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that.
Okay, there we go. Got the joint almost rolled. All right. Well, I'm going to finish that off. Did we want to take a quick 30-second break and then come back with the motivational moment?
Yeah. Let's hear from our sponsors.
Well, we haven't got any of those, so we're not going to
I just thought it sounded good.
But what we are going to do is we're going to remind everybody about something. And here we go.
Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
There you go.
Right. Okay, so today for Motivational Morning, we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to show you a video.
Yes. All right. I think I got her all lined up. Did you want to talk about it first, or you want to talk about it afterwards?
No, we'll talk about it after, because I think all of the lessons and things that I've been talking in healthy habits, it's just another, I'm tapping that nail, trying to just get you to understand this fact.
All righty. Here we go. We're still off to the side here, just so you know.
People have this reoccurring nightmare that there's some force that's got a hold of them and it's holding them down and they can't break free. No matter what they do, they can't break free from that force. Well, I'm here to tell you that thing in your nightmare, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you.
There are two fundamental attitudes toward life and its sorrows. Those with the first attitude blame the world. Those with the second ask what they could do differently. It's much easier and much more gratifying to your basest desires to blame someone else for your misery.
You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. That's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts. No, we working out now. You need to tell you that you owe you something.
Every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could humanly expect. I'm not competing with somebody else. I'm competing with what I'm capable of. My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
I value myself enough to give 120% or don't do it. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. You walk out of this room, you owe yourself. I didn't get here making excuses. What changed? I changed. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said, I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power every single day to become a victor and not a victim. Why? Because I owe it to myself. Can't nobody stop me but me.
That is it.
There you go. She's
So
running
I don't.
close.
It feels a little harsh watching it again. I'm like, I know the message might seem a little like, I know I said I was hammering the nail, but it's not meant to be painful. The
No.
reality of life is that if you look outwards and try and blame other people without taking any sort of responsibility, then you're not going to be able to correct the problem because you're not looking at the whole picture. So for example, if I work in an office building and somebody in the building is constantly bringing in treats because they love to bake and they leave them for everybody to munch on. And all of a sudden now I've noticed after 3 months of her doing this, I've now gained 15 pounds. Is that her fault? Am I going to blame her for bringing in all these tasty treats? No, you shouldn't. It's you versus you.
But people will.
This is my thing, is like, it's you versus you. Sometimes, and this, I'll talk more about this later in the healthy habit segment, but sometimes, even though it's extremely uncomfortable, you need to look inwards and you need to be willing to face the fact that you too probably take some small responsibility in whatever it is that is happening. So that's my motivational moment, is what do you want to get out of you today?
Yeah, and sometimes the only one that can make change is yourself. And, there are people out there that can't do that for, one reason or another.
Correct. Obviously, if you're dealing with a health issue or something like that, like I'm not saying, I would never advise you to go against any sort of medical diagnosis or advice from a doctor, but like things like the fact that you have 24 hours in a day, well, minus the 8 or whatever that you're sleeping, but like, what are you going to do with that time? Are you going to sit here and spend an hour and a half watching the 3 Hi Guys podcast, which I thank you for doing.
Well, can I just jump in there for a minute?
Yeah, please.
We got a message from Lexi Fox. She says, "Good morning, my people in Canada. Happy Wednesday."
Good morning.
It's Tuesday.
Well, wait, it might be Wednesday where
Alexa,
they are. Where? Wait.
Well, she's a past guest on the Pace Radio Show.
I was going to say the name sounds familiar, but I was like, where would it be tomorrow already?
No, I don't think
it's too early. It's too early to be tomorrow.
It's too early.
If it was later in the day, okay.
But good morning, Alexis. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining in.
Yeah.
So yeah, continue with your
It's just how you choose to spend your time. Are you going to choose it like if your goal is to be fit? Obviously, watching TV and sitting on your behind is counterintuitive to what you want to achieve. So just make sure that you're aware of what you're doing. You know, it's the you versus you mentality. The best
Yes.
best yourself. Don't worry about
Yes.
if you go to the gym and you see that guy who's jacked and whatever and he looks amazing and you're like super scrawny and you're busting your ass trying to, don't look like him. Best yourself. Go and
Yeah.
do like 10
And just
at
because
10 at 50 and then next time do 10 at 60.
and just because you can't be that person that you're looking at, maybe just the genetics in your whole body just won't allow that, right? So
No.
be
No.
as happy as you can be with what you can achieve.
Yeah, best yourself. Don't worry about anybody else.
Okay, just so you know, we got some more messages.
Yay!
Let's get back. She says that yes, I will work while watching you guys, and she says, "Oh my God,
Wow.
it's Tuesday, and oh, it's gonna be a long week."
That's so funny. So I wonder if Alexis was here last week for the multitasking segment.
Oh, I don't know.
The
I don't know.
multitasking and why it doesn't work. So basically she's watching us and working. So she's
And
doing
working, it's multitasking.
half and half, or like somewhere balancing. She's like watching us, but then somebody might come in and she's got to do a little bit more work. So she's watching us a little bit less. So that's how multitasking works. You could, it's like it's a balance.
It is.
Or a
It is.
juggle.
It is, exactly. All right. Anything else on the motivational moment?
That's it for me.
All right. Now I'm going to go on to part two, but part two of this doobie.
Is it the lighting it part?
During the dry haul.
Oh, yep. What are you getting?
It tastes similar to what it smells, peppery.
Okay. I like that. I'm not really a fan of the doobies that you roll up and when you smoke it, it's like a complete different experience.
Well, I like to do a dry haul on it first before I light it. See how she tastes.
Yep.
Yeah, and Alexis says that it's more like glistening, more than watching. But that allows us to multitask. And you're right.
Exactly. It's about balance.
Yeah, have it playing in the background, just like music, or as we started out on radio, right? That's what it was. I was listening. So,
yeah. So you'll have to describe the clouds that you're blowing.
Well, they're quickly drifting away. Tastes good.
Yeah. It's never the clouds that we're concerned about. It's the ash.
Well, this is grown in a living organic system.
So it should be very, very light. The ash. Nice. It's almost as white as the paper.
That's right.
That's beauty.
Mm-hmm. Did you want a toke?
Yeah, sure. Just let me roll one. I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that see? Technology is not there yet. When we can actually start like passing things, that'd be cool. Money transfers.
Correct. Yes. Tastes good. Not harsh.
Yeah, I don't hear you coughing.
No, you don't hear me coughing. I'm gonna have a cough. As it's just normal.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I bet you it'll burn all the way through. No problem at all whatsoever. So this is Black Lime Reserve. Is what it is. And this was sent to me by a friend who lives out west, out in British Columbia, actually.
This is literally like one of my favorite times of the year.
Yeah.
People get all excited because they're like, oh, fall is here. Some people like the beautiful drives with the leaves. Other people get excited over pumpkin spice, whatever.
Right? Yeah.
Some like Halloween. Other people are gearing up for Christmas, but not before Remembrance Day. But me, it's harvest season. It's my favorite.
It is. It's harvest season.
Yeah.
I know. It's been steady work.
Yeah. I know.
And
I
that's
keep
only the
checking my
first year.
calendar. I'm like, when can I go get up there to see Al?
Oh, don't worry. There's lots of work to be done in the clown.
Okay, good.
You're just missing the enjoyable part, and that's standing outside if it's cold or if it's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, you're lucky because this week is supposed to be beautiful.
Yeah,
so.
this has been great. It's been really good.
Yeah.
These last 4 days.
I should say if you're in Southern Ontario.
Yes, correct.
The other Al was complaining about snow dusting the ground, which is terrible. We don't want to hear that 4-letter word yet.
No, we don't.
We definitely don't want to see it.
No, exactly.
No.
All righty. Well, this doobie's still burning.
Nice.
We'll get into the next segment. How's that?
Sure. Could
here
we
we
do
go.
Wait, do you already have one queued up?
Yeah, I've got our next segment is the high five list from Al.
Okay. Would it be okay if I did the healthy habits just because it relates to
Oh, you want to do
the
that
other
now?
one now? Yeah, I
Okay.
know I'm throwing you off because I specifically said not to put them back to back. And now I'm
Correct.
like, wait, put them back to back. They go together today.
Okay, here we go. All righty.
All right. So today I would like to talk about shadow work. Have you heard of
Shadow
shadow work before?
No.
No, so I've heard about this and I was kind of like skeptical, especially because I don't like anything scary. I like to sit in the pleasant where it's comfortable and I don't have to worry about any sort of feelings that creep up. But by doing that, what happens is they creep up anyways and you don't
Yeah.
have control over them. It just something happens and it triggers you into a trauma response. And now you don't understand what's going on and why you're acting the way you're acting. And most of the time it's probably elevated speech. People are yelling. There's it's bad overall. So when we often focus on the positive in our lives instead of the negatives, it's called ignoring the shadow self. So there's
Okay.
this shadow to who you are. And basically shadow work involves reflecting on your emotions, your thoughts or behaviors, the things that you generally tend to push down and away. These can be things like unresolved traumas, insecurities, or even impulses that you don't want to admit that you have. Like, for example, a really hard one that I've had to admit recently is that I have spent the last 30 years of my life trying to gather everything that my mom said I wasn't allowed to have growing up.
Mm.
So I have a lava lamp and I've got a beanbag chair and I've got all these things that I don't need. And I believe it's trying to fill some sort of void from my past.
You couldn't have when you were younger, so now you're.
But I
Yeah.
was told no, and now I'm like, well, now I have control and I can get what
Yeah.
I want.
If
So,
you, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
I'm doing it. It's the
Yeah.
reason why I have pink hair right now is because I'm doing it.
I'm
So basically, what happens is when you face some of these things head on, you can actually learn more about who you are, and on the flip side, actually start to heal yourself, which is it's the crazy amazing part that I find a lot of people miss out on in adulthood, because just like I talked about before with the fixed mindset, they have this fixed mindset as to, this is the way I am. This is who I am, how I am. I'm just going to be this way for the rest of my life. But that can actually cause a lot of misery for those people.
Yeah.
So I'll teach you a little bit of how to do shadow work. 3 steps. Step 1, self-reflection. Spend
Mhm.
some time journaling about your feelings or thoughts that normally you don't want to even think about. Ask yourself why you avoid them. Why do you not want to think about the money that you spend on frivolous items or how much you spend at Tim Hortons or whatever it is? Could be a personality trait. I don't like when I say this thing or whatever. Number 2, meditation and mindfulness. Focus on bringing up those suppressed emotions and look at what surfaces, how you're feeling, and how you react to it.
Mhm.
And number 3 is the most important, compassionate acceptance. Okay. Every single one of us has a shadow self, all of us. Accepting your shadow self without any judgment can actually help you see the shadow work or shadow self in other people. And then when dealing with other people, you can actually, it's this kind of like when somebody snaps on you, you can see that that is their trauma-based response, based on
Mhm.
something that has happened in their past, and you're more compassionate towards it. So compassionate acceptance is important. And just to close it off, the benefits of shadow work: improved relationships. You're going to have better
Yeah.
communication. You'll be able to emotionally heal, which is huge. It's huge. A lot of people don't understand that the emotional trauma can actually be causing physical pain.
Mhm.
And personal growth. Understanding your shadow helps you break free from any belief that actually limits you. So I'm going to leave you with one thing I'd like you to do, if not too difficult. Spend 5 minutes today, tomorrow, hopefully sometime soon. Uh, Sit down and write about something that makes you feel uncomfortable within yourself. But also remember, number 3, be compassionate and accept that every single one of us has these things that we don't like. But I will tell you, doing what you're doing right now and looking at the things in yourself that you don't like that are negative is so positive to be doing that you can
Oh,
change
yeah.
those
Yeah.
negative things. So don't
Yeah.
be down on yourself. You're doing something good. So
Oh, yeah. I can agree.
don't
And I
feel
think
like shit.
the shadow self and sort of, looking at what you don't like in yourself, can help improve things. But some people can also be the hardest critics on
Yep.
themselves.
Yep.
Right?
Well,
And
and
I,
and
and
it's
I, yeah, as far as the shadowing and all that, I'd have to admit that I do it without didn't even realize that's what it had a name for it. It was sort of more of like along the line of criticizing myself instead of a shadow person, and use
but
that as a way to make change to improve things.
yeah, see, as it worries me that you say criticize, because it's not so much a criticism, it's just a reflection. So,
Mm,
because even with the word criticism has a negative connotation, it's not wrong. It's just something that you'd like to improve on. So it's something that you're being aware of what's going on. I just
right.
don't want, because like it's one thing to say, oh, I spend too much money, or I watch too much TV, or I scroll too much, or whatever it is that you feel you need to change. Don't feel bad about it. Like,
No, no,
yeah,
no.
we all
Yeah,
have these
yeah.
things. Like I'm saying, the
And it's
fact
good
that
that
you're working on it,
it's good that you can recognize that,
yes,
and that's a
that's
big key. You got to recognize it in order to make the change.
isn't that like the first step of any problem, is
Correct.
recognizing you have a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
have.
just, where do you go from there? Are you going to just live that way because that's how you are? Or are you going to be like, okay, how?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even just
Um,
ask how.
we have some more comments from Alexis.
Okay.
She says, "My God, now I know why I tuned in this morning in particular. Damn girl, thank you. Does it even cut it? Wow."
Oh,
And she says, just wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alexis.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's hard to look at the things in yourself that have to be changed, but I mean, I don't want to go through life thinking I'm an asshole and just being that asshole. So I'm going to do what I can to change.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, some people don't care if they're just being assholes.
Well, and I also want to say on the other side of things, no matter what
Mhm.
I do, who I am, what I wear, say, or whatever, there are people out there that probably still look at me like I'm an asshole.
Oh,
And I'm not going to
we all have
change
our lover
everybody's,
haters.
we're not going to change everybody's opinion. So
No.
if you're
But-
dealing with that, just know that a lot of times it's probably based on you've done something that has triggered their trauma response. And now
Mhm.
they've gone into their shadow self. So
And
don't take it
sometimes
personal.
your shadow self can see you doing something in somebody else. Like somebody else is doing it,
Mhm.
but when you look back over things, you can actually see yourself as that person, and you're thinking, well, I didn't like them doing it, so why am I doing it?
That's interesting.
So, alrighty.
That's funny you say that. I just want to say, similar to that, they say parents,
Mhm.
most parents, when they get frustrated with their kids, I'll just say, I get so frustrated with my son when he doesn't clean up his room. I get annoyed with my daughter when she doesn't put away her clothes. And they say the reason for that is because those are actually things within myself that I'm frustrated at myself because I don't put away my clothes and my bedroom's a mess. That
Do
I
them
try
as
and control it in them. And that's why it upsets me.
Yeah, well, if you did it, then obviously, more than likely they would follow your example.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're good. We can go on to the top. I'm excited to see what the OCS has for the top selling ounces. Big bags.
I gotta get my drink out of the sun. I can feel the mug heating up. But yeah, here we go. We got Al's list.
It's certainly high on the list.
Alrighty. As MJ has mentioned earlier, we went to find out what the best-selling ounces were at the OCS. I never go to the OCS website.
Yeah,
So went in to get this. I went, okay, where am I going?
Yeah, we actually Googled best-selling products, but
Yeah.
the OCS is specific. They're like best-selling pre-rolls, best-selling CBD, best-selling ounces. So because we know that you guys are all big stoners like we are, we're like ounces. Let's go with ounces.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 best-selling lists, and there's I think there's like 12 in this one. So I don't know if these are in any particular order. All right.
Oh, do you see the sort button?
Oh,
I think
okay,
it goes from cheapest to most expensive.
Well, yeah, it is right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's a popularity choice, which is weird.
Correct. So these are just they're not in any particular order. Then I'm gonna say they're just the top 12. So you got Pomady's Buddies. Okay, it's Buddies, Grower's Choice Indica, and Grower's Choice Sativa.
Mm-hmm. And see, the price on these is how much a gram?
$3.57 a gram.
Yeah.
Blueberry, Sour Kush, and BC Purple Kush.
Oh, sorry, bump the mic.
THC ratings are anywhere from 21 to 27. They say. It looks like it's just Okay. Select size. Lemon Annie. 11-week pink. Big Pleasures. Have you heard of any of these, MJ?
I'm actually going to the site right now just to see.
Okay.
Promenade Buddies. Good Supply. Oh yeah, okay. The Good Supply, Grower's Choice Indica and Sativa. Divi's Blueberry. Another one by Divi, Sour Kush. versus BC Purple Kush.
Yeah,
Oh, Pepe Lemonade.
right there.
Yeah.
That Pepe's in another one there.
Yeah.
11-week pink.
Yeah. Pepe is pretty good. I like Pepe. $3.90 a gram. Okay. I like the price points. That's where I'm all like, how
That's
much?
probably an average.
How much? Pure Lane, Big Pleasures, Big Bag of Buds, Ultra Sour. That just sounds fun.
Granddaddy Perps from Good Supply, and the Loud Plug has Venom OG. Look at the difference in the prices there. Ooh.
Yeah, Venom OG, top selling, like top price, not top selling, but like most expensive at $6.14 a gram.
Yeah, the Venom OG, right, there we go. 30 to 36%, they say, on the THC testing, if that's what you're looking for. There you go.
I'm curious. It's $171.95 for an ounce.
$171, so that $200 ounce
plus taxes and shipping.
Plus tax, so that's that $200 ounce.
So, but like now, let's think back.
Nope.
How much was an ounce? Back
$200. That's 200.
That was a deal. Yeah, if you had a good dealer, you were getting it for $200 an ounce. So for all of those people out there that are still bitching about the fact that that ounce is $6 and something, it's still $6 a gram. Still only $6, my friends. I remember pooling money together in high school just to buy a $10 gram, and it was a 0.8.
Oh,
like,
oh, really? 8.8 instead of a gram.
Yeah, it's high school. Like they gypped us all the time.
Yeah. So there you go. Best-selling ounces at the OCS. That was. No, that's not the best-selling strain. It's just the ounces strains. Who knows?
That's correct.
We're in grams. Maybe, who knows? Maybe down the road we'll have that out.
Well, and I'm curious as to what was the purchasing reason to why all those people bought that, because like the Good Supply is cheap. It's just cheap. Like it's like $100 ounce or something like that. A lot of those were like $100 ounces. So maybe that's why they're the top selling products or top.
$100 ounces before taxes.
Like the fact that this one, the Venom OG, is on there at, $170 something for an ounce. I'm like, it must be a good ounce if it's one of the better selling ounces at the price that it is.
Especially when you compare it to the prices of everything else.
Yeah, it's
and that may be something that is more purchased by, obviously, people who can afford it, right? There's people who can afford that, and they look at it as they can afford to buy 2 of the other ounces before they can buy an ounce of that.
I feel like it's a shift in mentality too. Okay, so if you had to buy one item a year at $100 or buy 10 of them at $10 in the year, which would you buy? Would you buy the one item at $100 or would you buy the 10 items for $10? Yeah. It's the same thing, except less money more often or more money less often.
Yeah.
It's a mentality shift, I think.
Well, here you go, Alexis. She's still watching. She says, preaching to the choir. These kids have no idea what it's like to go hide in the cemetery to smoke after pooling your money together to get an 8th from that shady guy down the street.
Amen. That's why I'm like, don't bitch about the $171 ounce, please.
Yeah, I can remember a time when I first moved away, because I grew up in Mississauga, and when I moved away from there and came up here into the country, I didn't know anybody up here, and I was smoking cannabis at that time. So we went back and we just met some guy at the strip mall, smoked a joint with him, thought it was really good, bought the ounce off of him, and then we smoked a couple joints and there's no way this is the same stuff.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, shady guy at
Yeah.
the down the street for sure.
Yeah, you really took a risk back in the day. You
Yeah.
really took a risk. I remember walking home from the movie theater with one friend of mine, and we bumped into some guy at the park, and he
Mhm.
was like, my buddy was like, "Hey, do you got any weed?" And the guy was like, "Yeah." So we bought a gram, and I remember smoking the joint, and I don't remember anything after that other than waking up at home the next day and calling my friend, and he was like, "Do you remember how we got home?" And I was like, "No, I was hoping you could tell me how we got home." And I've never
Oh,
ever had that experience off weed. And I was like,
yeah.
did it have something in it? Like some like other substance? Because I legit didn't remember anything.
No, man. And that's just one joint.
One joint.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about joints, as you notice, I put that joint out that I was smoking.
How you doing?
It never went out. It burned
Okay.
clean and straight all the way through it. And I never coughed. Not once.
No, I didn't hear you cough.
No, not once. Not once.
Eh.
It did have as it burned through there was times where I did get hints of the lime, the citrus end of things
Okay.
as well. So that was Black Lime Reserve. That's what that was.
It
Yeah,
sounds
broke
fancy.
up nicely. Had, like I said, that peppery taste on the dry inhale. Not
Did it
lit.
have like a dark coloring to it, like for the black? Like on
The
the
bud?
bud? Yeah.
No.
I always wonder because when you hear like black or purple or something, like kind of expect there to be like a color, but it could have been on the leaves,
Correct.
right?
Can
The
be.
color could have been
Correct.
on the leaves.
Yes. Correct.
I wonder if you can get these cannabis strains in smaller sizes.
In at the OCS?
Yeah, because a lot of times it'll say select
Yes.
size.
On the website, it did indicate, just to answer your question, it did indicate there. I saw some that said 28 grams, others that said 3.5 grams.
Oh, there. It's a circle.
Yeah,
I
in the
see it.
same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I got it on my phone as well.
Ooh, the Lemonati. I just like it because it sounds like Illuminati. It's a Lemonati.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm at All Buds. Black Lime, also known as Black Lime Reserve, is an indica dominant hybrid strain created through the crossing of the classic Northern Lights crossed with Purple Kush and Chemdog Special Reserve strains. This potent bud took second place overall at the 2014 High Times Cannabis Cup, and for good reason. With the THC levels that bottomed out at 19% and full-bodied effects. Black Lime is one bud for the ages. The Black Lime high starts with the euphoric and uplifting onset that boosts your mood and leaves you feeling relaxed and happy with a pleasant tingling effect. This tingling body buzz will slowly creep its way through your entire body, leaving you feeling aroused and hopelessly lazy with body-numbing effects. Because of its high THC level and powerful effects, Black Lime is ideal for treating experienced users suffering from conditions such as chronic pain, fatigue, depression, and headaches or migraines. Black Lime buds have small, spicy, minty green nugs with light amber hairs and a coating of tiny, clear crystal trichomes. Like the name suggests, Black Lime has a sweet lime flavor with hints of black pepper and earthly citrus. The aroma is of a sweet pine and tingles of pungent peppery earth and lemony overtones. And that's some of the stuff I mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit the right on the nose there.
Yeah. Effects are body high, creative, relaxing. Relief symptoms is chronic pain, depression, fatigue, headaches, stress. Yeah.
Well,
So there you go.
it kind
Some
of
information.
sounds like it does. You said it has Northern Lights in it, crossed
Yes.
with
Yeah.
Purple Kush.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
explains that. That would be like a very relaxing. Like last time I had Northern Lights, I could feel a wave of just. Okay, so my body is always tense, and I never realized how tense my body is until I smoked Northern Lights, and it was like my whole body's just it's like a blanket of relaxation that started at the top of my head and just washed down my body, and I was just like, I looked at my neighbor who brought it over, and I was like, whoa. I had one pipe, and I was like, whoa. And he's like, yeah, how do you feel? I was like, relaxed. He's like, because he had a stroke and is paralyzed on one side. And that's what he's like,
Yeah.
favorite strain for pain and relaxation. So
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense for like,
Northern Lights, Purple Kush, Chem Dog,
mhm.
all old names.
2014 High Times winner.
Yeah, exactly. That's 10 years ago. Yeah. There you go. That's at allbud.com. That's where I got that information from. So, all righty. What do you say? We move on to the next segment.
Sure.
All right. Here we go. We got coming up.
I like that song.
And I think I might have just trimmed it down a little short. So that little riff that Al always says it needs to be added, I think it might have been there. And I might have cut it off, just thinking the length of it being,
Oh, I like it. It's cute. Catchy. And
All right. So today, recipe-wise, what I have is 9 cannabis recipes to try at home.
Okay. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, everything we can try at home, right? Okay, here we go. How to make butter. You see there's a video there as well. All right. So for anybody who goes to this website, which I'll put into the comments, you can watch a video instead of just reading everything. All right. Cannabis infused tea with rose and lavender.
Oh.
Do you drink tea?
Got some right now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Number 3, cannabis infused olive oil. So yet again, this has got those two big things that, can butter and the oil, which is always people are asking, how do you make it? This website has both of them in here. Cannabis infused. What's that?
I actually prefer the oil, but that's just my own
So do
personal.
Yes. Yeah. And health reasons, as well as more universal uses.
That you just said it right there, the universal usage, because I also like to make topicals. And I'm not putting butter in my topicals.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got cannabis infused pasta with clams and green chiles. Even if you don't like the clams or green chiles, you could use the recipe and probably modify it, right?
Just make a
work
sauce
for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cannabis infused chocolate pretzel cookies.
Those look really good.
I'm a cookie monster. Oh yeah.
I don't know if I see marshmallows there, but there should be.
I see the white.
Is that marshmallows?
I'd have to open it up in order
That's
to see.
okay. I'll check it out. I'm definitely checking out that recipe.
Cannabis infused. Oh, it jumped. It's a jumpy. It's got a lot of pop-ups, So I'm missing something here. Cannabis infused olive oil citrus cake.
Wow. That just
Did I
looks
miss
delicious.
Did I miss a recipe? No, there's the pasta. Okay. There's the cake. All right, here we go. There's the cookies. Oh, okay. I see. I missed the cake earlier. The
Yeah,
jumpy
the pop-up
screen.
made you miss the miss the cake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It happens to me when I do the news broadcast too, depending on some of the sites. Cannabis infused brioche, French
Brioche.
toast, brioche,
Brioche.
French toast.
I've had French toast with
Oh, I love French
oh,
toast.
it's so good infused. Great way
People
to start
tell
the day.
me, for you, I really haven't had it a lot since I've been sick. But when I was younger and we had French toast, I put ketchup on it.
Yay! I met somebody else who does the same.
All right.
Thank you. I've argued with people my whole life. I'm like, do you eat fried egg sandwiches like on toast, fried egg on toast? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, do you eat it with ketchup? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, it's the same ingredients.
Yeah.
It's egg and bread
Yeah,
and ketchup.
People think it's strange that I've told that I eat it with ketchup. They
Dude,
use
same.
syrup on it, and I just say, well, if I
Same.
wanted pancakes, I'd make pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably you don't like when people put vanilla or cinnamon on your French toast either. You just want the egg.
Yeah. Normally that's how I had it. It was very rarely there was ever any cinnamon or anything on it.
Yeah, because when people put cinnamon and vanilla and
Yeah.
you try and eat it with ketchup, it's like sweet and it's just no. Just give me egg and bread. Maybe a
Eggs and bread.
maybe, but yeah, that's so
Yeah.
awesome. I'm so glad I found somebody like me. Thanks, Al.
Yeah, good. Oh,
God, I was like, I was
Jump.
waiting.
all right. We're jumpy. Got the jumpy website going here. Cannabis infused salted caramel fudge brownies.
Wow.
Wow, look at them.
That was like
Oh,
deliciousness on top of like deliciousness. on
yeah,
deliciousness.
yeah. So here, I'm going to take a copy of this website and I am going to plug it in our comments.
We're gonna share it with all of you.
Yeah, we're going to share
way
it all
you-
with you.
You can get some of the recipes and make some later.
Yeah. There we go. I've just hit the send button. And just so you know, we've got another comment here from Alexis. She says that I cut out the middle of the bread and fry my egg inside of it so it toasts and eggs together. It's really easy too. Yes.
Oh, like
There's a name for that,
birds in
isn't
a,
there?
there's a bunch. I think it's birds in a nest.
Birds in a nest.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. I
Yeah,
agree.
my old father-in-law, he used to love that. And he'd take his cup and he'd take the middle of the bread out. So it
Uh-huh.
was a perfect circle, and then he'd say just cook it just throw it in there and cook it. I was like, what? I'm gonna cook the eggs in the bread on the pan? He's like, yeah. So okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He lived north of Highway 7, so anything he asked could have been random.
Now, as we mentioned, Al's under the weather. He's not here, obviously. It's just the two of us. But I think that if he was here,
Mhm.
yeah,
I think he would really
Alexis
appreciate
says-
that.
he says yes with a cup.
Yep.
If he was here, that he would be doing probably his review on a gift that
Oh,
arrived.
you found a
this past-
box.
He got the box. I found a box. I actually reused the box that I received because I went to the post office and couldn't get one. I could have, but it was massive.
Yeah, they're big.
It was too big.
You don't
was
want it
either
rattling
too
around
big
in there.
yeah, correct. Right. So I just reused and relabeled the box that Dave used with me, and I sent it to Al. And
Nice.
I know next week I'll let him do the review on what he thinks of that. I'm sure he's going to do it. But in the meantime, what we're going to do instead of going to break, we're going to do a got going to run a little 2-minute clip here. And then when we come back, we'll come back with some news. Have you got anything else that you want to touch on?
Today, on recipes, no. The only thing I have left today is my show and tell.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. We're back.
This, guys, is a BT bottle with a little straw on the end of it. Okay. Back in the day, we used to have glass bottles, soda pop in glass bottles. Okay. Soft drinks. And this was built for the old school hash. This is the hash that your uncles and your grandparents would get. And this is the stuff that we would all treasure whenever we could get it, because we thought it was the best stuff, because it's the constant. It was our form of concentrate.
Correct.
Right? When we were young, right?
Yes.
This is
To answer your question now.
Oh, here we go.
Forward. Now you're going to cut this out if it doesn't work, right?
You just cut it out now. These are the 3 tools I use to form and shape the hashes.
So now once the prep work is done over on the lathe, it now has to come over to me to put the mouthpiece on and finish off the top part. So first up, I just need to clean up and close off the top that's left over.
First thing I'll do is I will heat up the corner and I'll push in the Maria, which is the circular lump that acts as a stopper. Right? Whereas I'm kind of like, I'm 49 years old, but I don't have time to be an artist.
You know, but each one is individual, though. There's only one of each. So it does make it art.
Oh, stop it. Okay.
All right, we're here with the headline news, and I actually didn't grab the one story I wanted to grab, so I'm on the way to get it, but we can still talk about it in the process. And that is, do you remember last week we were talking about the Buzzkill store?
I knew that's what you were going to talk about. Yes, the OCS operated non-legal legal cannabis store.
Correct. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was unable to get myself into one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might do that on Friday this week because
Oh well, it was only a 4-day event.
oh, so it won't be there Friday.
No, yeah, it was only running for 4 days, and that was legalization time frame, right?
The pop-up. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pop-up. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
I did see a couple posts that friends had posted, industry members.
Yes.
With
I have
their
one of them.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
This one, it was Jonathan Hirsch.
Weedstagram.
Yeah. He went to see that reckless spending of taxpayers' money looks like. Says the OCS put together an imitation illegal store that even included an ID check at the front. So authentic. The best part was I still don't know how this was useful. It was marketed to the industry and not to the public. Literally every single person in the building was an industry member. Huge waste of money and huge waste of time and money, zero impact from this activism.
Yeah, well, I mean, who were they marketing to?
Yeah. Okay.
I know they said they had it in the news. I think, if anything, the people that were, why it might have been mostly industry people, is because we care enough to see what the hell the OCS is doing.
Yeah.
Where the general public is not going to walk in there, because what are the odds that they're going to go in that store over the other 7 that they walk past to get there?
Yeah.
Like,
and when you promote, like, I can see they're promoting it, but if they wanted to really have a good effect, I think they should have maybe ran it longer than just 4 days. And maybe not promote it. Maybe not promote it.
Well, and don't call it Buzzkill.
Yeah, that sort of does kill. That sort of does kill the buzz, doesn't it?
Weed store or not, I wouldn't be going in there. It's Buzzkill.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through these pictures that he has here. All right, and as you can see, this is the front of the store. All right. This is a picture of some of the people inside. It looks dark, eh?
Mm-hmm. I've never walked into a store that looks like that.
Yeah, a machine that's out of order.
Legal or non.
There you go. They had these edibles. Chance Chews, Funky Fudge, Extra Fuzzy Peach Rings. Yeah, and then Flaky Flower.
What is the purpose of this?
Their whole idea was to try to educate people between a licensed store and an
unlicensed store by providing an illegal store that looks legal. Like,
They wanted people to walk in, I guess, and be surprised by it.
And then have them say, "You're in a fake store." How fucking dumb would you feel? You'd be like, what? Why? And this is put on by the government? What?
Okay, so on the Flaky Flower, see the green information on the bottom? It said, it's hard to, aged in the dankest of conditions, our friend Petey's basement. This strain is guaranteed to keep you coughing all night. How do we do it? Well, let's just say, unlike the legal market, we're pretty chill when it comes to testing for mold. Basement grown. That's what it says in the back of that one.
I agree with Alexis. This is not education.
Alexis is commenting, is she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can see the germ joint. They say here on theirs, unsanitary pre-rolls, effect, relaxed approach to testing. THC? I sure hope so. And the description says, did we test for cannabis for E. coli and salmonella before rolling it? Our lips are sealed. Yours, on the other hand, are about to be wrapped around a pre-roll packed with only the finest bacteria. Remember, puff, puff, pass out from a lung infection. So there you go. I don't think these changed anybody's minds.
No.
Like he says that it was mostly just industry people who were there.
Yeah.
So it didn't really go very far. They probably got a lot of chuckles from people reading the articles because I know StratCan carried the article.
Well, it sounds to me like the OCS is still dealing with the issue that there are illegal cannabis sales that are continuing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not up to the consumer to know what's legal or illegal. If they're walking into a retail location and picking up illegal cannabis, that's a police issue. The police should be going after that store. And the fact that the OCS is using taxpayer money to educate or try to educate the general public as to where they should be purchasing is ridiculous.
Yeah. To Alexis's point there, it's not education. It's a continue. I would say it's more along the line of the continuation of propaganda.
Yeah. It's fear mongering.
Fear mongering.
Which is propaganda. They're trying to use fear.
She says that this drives home the negative stigma that is associated with cannabis consumers. This is the wrong image to portray, no matter what side of the industry you are on.
Agreed.
Yeah, and that's it's the continuation, because let's just put it this way: in all the years of cannabis being illegal, nobody died. Right? Okay. Now another thing is they used to always ask, "Where's the bodies?" But they mentioned mold, and they mentioned not knowing what
E. coli.
What THC is in the container, right? In some of those labels. Well, as we're well aware, here in Canada, we've had recalls because of mold, and we have had recalls because of labels that are wrong.
Yeah, because they say the THC is higher than it actually is.
Correct. Or it should have been CBD level should have been that reading, and THC should have been. So the OCS is saying be careful because they don't test for those things, but they're not saying that it's a bad product. They're just saying it's an untested product. This is where I'm like, it's all about it's the language too that they use that I'm like, I can't get on board. The labels on the packaging, even if that was a store and you went in to buy a pack of pre-rolls, you wouldn't buy a pack that said that thing about pesticides and like did they think we're dumb? No, but they're trying to tell you that that's what you could be buying if you went into an illegal store. That's what they're trying to.
It might be the right message, but it was the wrong delivery. Like you're saying, could have had longer than 4 days.
Oh yeah, like 4 days. Like, yeah. It wouldn't be.
Why not make a commercial? Put an ad out online or something, making a video of that whole story. You wouldn't have had to spend as much money. I don't get it. Yeah. But there's a lot of things I don't get. So if somebody from the OCS wants to reach out and maybe tell me what the fuck, help me get it, that'd be great. Other than that, I'm just walking around going, don't make no sense.
Don't make no sense. All right. No. So there you go. That's the news end of things. And Alexis agrees. She said, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That is on the news end of things. Now, okay. It is time to do. Where am I? It is this time. All right. So for sports, I got two stories. Neither one of them are cannabis related. So first we'll come up with gotta shut off that share screen, and I gotta put up a different screen so I get the right one this time. And there we go. It is World Season time in baseball, and it's the Yankees and Dodgers meeting the World Series for the 12th time to match up of Broadway and Hollywood. So they've done this 12 different times. I have not followed baseball in decades. Used to follow sports all the time, but not anymore. And I thought, hey, it's World Series. It's the it's the top. It's like the Stanley Cup of hockey. It is the number one cup when it comes to baseball. So I just thought we have to make sure that we make mention of the fact that the World Series is about to get going. Mm-hmm. And probably watch a lot of great baseball. Do you watch any baseball?
I only watch whatever Timmy watches, and that's pretty much just the Jays.
Jays, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're watching some baseball.
Yeah, only when it's important.
Yeah.
Like I went to see when Vladdy came, which is one of the Blue Jay players. When he came, his very first game, I was there for that.
Yeah, we used to go to Jays games a lot. We used to buy single tickets, for games here and there throughout the year.
Yeah.
Now for these two though, the Yankees and the Dodgers, the first time that they, even though I said 12 times or 11 times, this is the first time they've met in 43 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's quite a ways.
Yeah.
They say they're two of baseball's most successful teams. The series starts on Friday. Okay. New York is seeking its 28th World Series title, first since 2009, and the Dodgers is fighting for their 8th and second in 5-year span. They say it's the Yankees Pinstripes versus the Dodger Pantone 294. Or the Bronx Bombers versus the Dem Bums. Yeah. Who else going on? I just started trying to grab some stuff here. So
I feel like they went and changed all their names to be politically correct.
Maybe. I don't know. So yeah, World Series, top end of baseball, going at her.
Nice.
Now what else is in sports that I've got here? And this is a first, and that is because this is a dream come true for Jade Kvorkovic. She makes history as the first Northern Soccer League player to sign with the AFC Toronto, and this is a professional women's league soccer league, and she's the first lady to sign up in for the Toronto team called the AFC Toronto, and she's excited to be involved in that. Now, as far as some information on her. It says here that she's a former Canadian Youth International and League One Ontario's all-time leading scorer in the historic first signing. She's 30 years old. She's from Acton. She's a celebrator striker known for her knack around the net and leadership in the pitch. Is the career leading goal scorer in League One Ontario for both men and women, with more than 170 goals. She's earned 5 Golden Boot awards and was named the most valuable player 4 times. Wow, she's got quite the resume.
Well, I was going to say congratulations to her for being back in Toronto, or being in Toronto and making the team, but I think congratulations are in order for the team. She sounds like a great win for the team, and hopefully it shows in the wins.
She's played for Canada in the under-17 and under-20 World Cups. She was success at youth, international, and university levels, but she didn't know she could make a career of it until she was 23.
She was just busy besting herself up until that point.
Yeah. Now, as far as anybody wants, as far as the rosters and stuff, they have a cap of $1.5 million per club, and a minimum salary of $50,000 for the soccer players.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. Women's soccer, professional soccer. Recently, we've had the story on. What was it on the hockey league that got going? So it's good to see that the women's soccer league is professional, is up and at her as well. Now, earlier I mentioned to you that I got to take that out of there. I had a weather report for everybody.
Yes.
Right? Remember that? Okay, here we
Mhm.
go. If I get this right.
I'm excited because you seemed excited.
No, I'm not hearing
What
it.
is that?
All right.
All right, hang on here. We'll set her back up again here. There we go.
Hey, let me get this weather together real quick.
Okay, so Snoop, we prepared a special map. All you got to do is touch the map, and you will see some special Snoop cities. So hold on, here we go. Okay. All right. So, for example, we got.
Al, it's 57 degrees in Mary Jane Falls, Nevada.
That's right.
And then I heard it was going to be 56 degrees in Stoner, Colorado.
That's right.
But my favorite is when it's nice, hot, and misty outside, 84 degrees in Blunt, South Dakota. Sliding on down to this area right here, above the average highs, 70 degrees in Roach, Missouri. You understand me? And over here, I love, we stay lucky in Kentucky. It's going to be 60 as we blaze in Blaze, Kentucky. You dig?
Yeah.
Here we got Pottsville, Pennsylvania, where it will be 60 degrees, and down low on the go, 61 degrees at High Point. Get that, High Point, North Carolina.
Best forecast right there. Oh, that's the best.
That's funny. Who knew there were
There you
all
go.
those stoner places?
All the stoner places. Exactly. I saw that and I thought it was pretty funny. So I got to use that today.
If you're going to do a weather report.
You had to do a weather report. Now, obviously, we're not going to have one of those every week.
No.
I don't think Snoop's going to do them all the time. He's busy doing other stuff. All righty. Well, next segment, on to the events and entertainment.
Woohoo.
Woohoo. There you go.
All
Events and
right.
entertainment.
Okay, so I don't have any fancy graphics for you this week. So
I
you're just
noticed
gonna have
that.
to listen to the tone of my voice. Okay, so we've got 3 events, things coming up this week. I wanted to talk to you about October 24th, this Thursday. Karma Cup Awards is happening in Toronto.
Right.
Secret location because it's only disclosed if you bought a ticket. So go get yourself a ticket and go to the party. It's going to be lots of fun. You'll get a chance to meet the brands that were featured in the product testing. And there's going to be music, be a sesh with your friends. It's supposed to be lots of fun. If you've been to any of the Karma Cup events, you know it's always a good time. So that's happening this Thursday. And then on Saturday at the Scotiabank Arena, Iron Maiden is doing their Future Past World Tour. And they actually have special guests opening for them, The Who, but spelled H-U.
Oh.
Not The Who like H-W-O, but H-U. And that's happening this Saturday at the Scotiabank Arena. And then next week, I believe, is the 27th, October 27th. There is, that's Sunday. Sorry, Sunday, the 27th. A Very Lit Halloween is happening in Welland, Ontario, which is, I think, out by Hamilton, Niagara-ish, that area. There's going to be a party with over 20 plus brands. Costume party, come out, have some fun, Halloween treats, all that jazz.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. And of course, Halloween is coming, so.
That's right, it is. Halloween.
Yep.
Halloween is coming.
A lot more events coming in November.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Anything else on the events?
No.
Okay.
Would this be a good time to talk about my show and tell from the event that I just went to?
Sure.
Okay, it's really quick. So I think I told you last week I was going to the Paradox Fall Soiree show. It was a comedy show slash freestyle. Because I'm not sure if you know who the Disciplined Stoners are, but Winnie is a comedian and 11 is a musician. So
Rapping.
the two of them together,
Freestyle.
freestyle. They put their talents together and they create these events called the Paradox events. And we went to our very first one, so I didn't really know what to expect, especially from like 11, because I know he freestyles, but I mean my ignorance level on freestyling is like pretty high. But I have a whole new respect for what that is. Like I almost wish that the night would have started out with that and then went into the comedy, because I think it just was more like loose. I don't know how to explain it. But basically the skill is taking, like, he'll take random things that people say, like just ideas, and then make a rap out of it.
Oh yeah. I saw him at the Canon Expo last year, and that was what he did.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Just pulled things out of thin air.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one thing when you hear somebody rapping. I mean, you wonder, do they have set things that they always say, or like a line, or like this word always rhymes with this word? But like, there is no way. That man is extremely talented. I'm just saying. It was a great time. There was cannabis, flour and beverages in abundance there for us to have, if that's what you wanted. I will say Timmy won one of the prizes. So
good, Timmy.
We went home with a tray of raw goodies. So if anybody likes raw and needs some raw, let me know.
Nice
I was telling Al before the show, I'm like, for such a big brand, I'm like, I want to be a fan of theirs, but I just don't like their papers. It's like the glue doesn't stick. It doesn't burn right. It just tastes funny, but I love the tray. Like, the tray is...
Right. Did he win any buds in that bag?
No.
No buds to roll on the tray. Oh, look at that. Cool.
The tray is so cool.
Yes.
So.
Alrighty. As far as entertainment end of things, being that Snoop Dogg was on doing the weather for us, I thought I'd bring up or ask the question: Have you watched The Voice, the music show on TV?
No.
Okay.
I know the show.
Of it, right? People go up and sing, and the judges can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this year, Snoop is one of the judges.
Okay.
And yes, cannabis things are tossed out. Little redo marks here and there, or
okay.
I have to say he's doing a real good job. I've done a lot of laughing. The contestants have received him very well.
Good.
And you can see the smile on their faces. Because he's well known. So are the other judges. Like, who doesn't know Reba McEntire, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Al. There might be some youngins now that don't know Reba.
Yeah, and even you can say that even with Gwen Stefani, and because
that's true.
I've no doubt, right? And then Michael Bublé. With a little twist. Every once in a while, he'll say bubbly.
Yeah.
But Snoop has done a good job. I've laughed several times at him and his remarks. I don't listen to his music or anything, and when I'm told that he smokes 80 joints a day, I can say, "What the fuck? Get better smoke if that's what you're smoking a day, 80 joints." But I gotta.
Like, wait a minute. Can you even factor that into hours of a day?
Correct.
How many joints is that an hour?
That would be almost 4 an hour.
If he stayed up for 24
3 is 75,
hours.
so you're over 3 an hour. So that's 1 every 20 minutes. So you got to sleep, you got to eat, you got to shower, you got to do your work. You have
I'm
to
like,
do
that's literally impossible.
correct.
He's a liar. He's
Yeah.
a liar, is what he is.
Yeah,
If he
well,
says
what
he
some-
smokes that
what-
much, like
But someone said, well, maybe what it is he has someone, apparently he has someone who rolls joints for them. That's what they do, is
Yeah.
roll 80 joints. But
Yeah.
maybe that's for the whole entourage. Everybody,
that would make sense.
you know,
That would
that's
make sense.
involved.
One for Snoop, one for the entourage. One for Snoop, one for the entourage. That's how I'd be living. One for me, one for you.
Okay. So now I mentioned, have you got anything you want to mention on the entertainment end of things?
I just want to say that I'm excited about a movie that's coming out. It's called Piece by Piece. It's a Lego movie. It is basically Lego movie.
Okay, I thought I just had to make sure I heard that right.
Yep, that's basically about Pharrell's story, the artist Pharrell.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's basically his story, but in Lego.
Oh, okay. Do they have Lego buds? Because he ends up getting involved in the cannabis industry.
You know what? I'm thinking because it is Lego, they'd probably keep that out only
Probably.
because they know a lot of kids are probably going to watch that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it
I
talks
would
about
think-
his like
I would
journey
think
into
so,
music
but
and stuff.
Yeah, but do kids? Well, I guess because I guess the teenagers and his music. So,
Mm.
but they would know, like a teenager that 15, 14, 13, you would all know probably that he's involved in cannabis. Is it not in his lyrics and spots?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I wasn't even aware Pharrell was in the cannabis space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's him. Yeah. Unless I
The
got
guy
the
that
wrong
sings
name.
Happy.
Oh,
because
hang on. No, sorry. Hang on. Will Kafia. That's who I'm thinking.
Wiz Khalifa.
There it is. Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Me
Now
bad,
you're
me
showing
bad.
your age, Al,
Oh, am I?
and your music genre. Especially when you said Reba McEntire. It's like, oh,
I don't
that's
listen
some like
to her
old
either.
school country.
It sure is. It is. She's 70 years of age, and she's on that stage, or she's up there doing the show, and the contestants love her as well because of that history of
Yeah.
being involved in country and
Well,
western
and
music.
her personality. Reba.
Oh
just had that.
yeah. She's got some funny stuff as well. Yeah.
I wish one day that people will know me just by Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Cher or Reba or
Gwen.
Gaga, Stefani. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like one.
Yeah, correct.
Manson.
All right.
No.
Okay. Here, let's pretend we're gonna play a review video.
Okay.
Al's still trimming. Okay. As I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, I had 2 different strains of cannabis to test today
Mhm.
to review, and this is the other one.
The
I got a note
papaya.
here. Papaya, right there. I don't know how clear that is for everybody out there, but I can tell you, this nug is frosty white. Really white, nicely trimmed,
Lots of crystal.
lots of crystal.
Nice.
Like when I took my nugs out of the bag that they arrived in, I could see the crystal on the bag. Like, not all the crystal fell off the bud. No, there was just some crystal that was on the bag because the nugs just looked white and stuck together. So I yet again from my friend out west. Did you I don't know what your if you could look up this strain for me, papaya, and we could talk about it while I grind this nug up all the way through as I look down through it's just covered in frost.
Okay, so I've got here from Leafly.
Yeah, sure.
Papaya, strain highlights. Indica, THC 17%, CBD 1%. Strain highlights feelings of relaxed, sleepy, hungry, helps with anxiety, stress, pain. Papaya is an
Oh,
indica dominant hybrid cannabis strain that's known for producing a mental calmness, though many consumers also find that this strain makes them energetic and productive.
no. Oh, has it got some sativa background in it or something?
It says here Nirvana Seeds bred this to be their take on a mango strain and crossed it with Citral number 13 with Ice number 2 to make their own fruit. They met their own challenge, and papaya
Oh.
smells uncannily like its namesake. The taste is similar to a tropical fruit, but is spicy, peppery, and the peppery side is apparent.
Oh, well, I tell you, I've never had a papaya. But if this is if it tastes like the way this smells.
Oh, papaya is beautiful.
Oh,
it's a delicious
yeah.
plant.
It smells that way too. Yet again, it grinds up nice and fluffy, and there's no lumber in it.
It says here terpenes are myrcene, limonene, and caryophyllene, which is herbal, citrus, and pepper.
Oh yeah. I didn't see any foreign objects on it. On the bud, just so you know. I sort of go back. I think about the questions that you're asked during the Karma Cup.
Yeah, because I can't even tell you the amount of times I found like a thing of hair on my weed back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Which is normal because back in the day, Buddy was growing in his house and guaranteed he had a guard dog. Like, like just it flies in the air. It's hair, whatever. Just especially now that I know the way cannabis grows, like a fan probably blew that hair.
Yeah, unfortunately, these buds that I'm reviewing here, they're not available in the stores because this was a friend from out west.
Yeah,
that sent these to me. But for anybody who's looking to grow some strains, Black Lime Reserve and papaya are some strains that you want to look into. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, especially if you like the citrusy and the peppery, because they both have a little. You said the other one was more peppery with a hint of citrusy, the lime. Where this one, I'm guessing, is the other way. It's more fruity, and you'll probably get hit with the peppery taste after. How was the dry pull?
Quick.
I was going to say it looked a lot shorter this time.
I know I'm trying
Honestly,
to think of
that's how you could tell that it was a good smelling flower because you didn't even, you're like, I want to
light it up. I want to taste this now.
Yeah.
It tastes really good.
Yeah. Even just from the way when you were saying it, the busting it up smells delicious. So.
Oh yeah. While busting it, the citrusy flavors or aromas. I could smell it. And yet again, the new grinder for today's show, or clean grinder for today's show, courtesy of Greenhouse Seeds.
Nice. Yeah, I wonder if they have any seeds left.
I don't know. I've got some Greenhouse Seeds around here somewhere.
Like, wait a minute. Wasn't Greenhouse the Strain Hunters?
Strain Hunters, correct. Yeah.
I wonder if I think they are still in operation. I think I just seen something recently that they were still pheno hunting.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the same.
Correct. Franco.
Yeah, and Arjan.
Yeah, Arjan's still doing things. Franco, as we know, passed away.
Yeah.
A few years back. Malaria.
Time sure flies.
Hunting for cannabis strains. I'm getting
Yep.
sick, eh? So, yeah.
I wonder if Greenhouse Seeds has a papaya strain.
I don't know.
That'd be interesting because you just happened to use their grinder today.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to go to the website, find out. I see you've had a few phone calls during the show. I'll have to get to them when I get back. When we get done. Well, this tastes good. You can see ash.
Another white ash, just like
Another
the
white
paper.
ash.
I feel like that's the, what'd you say, the living soil?
Living soil, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just so you know, you cannot use water softeners with living soil. Even if they tell you that 99.99% of your salt comes out, because there's salt. Salt and microlife just don't get along. Right? So, okie dokie. I'm just going to keep smoking this doobie, enjoying this doobie. And other than that, I think we've got everything covered, everything that's on the list.
I think so.
See, this is why I wanted to smoke one at the beginning of the show and one at the end of the show.
Yeah. Well, doing testing back to back is difficult anyways, because if
It
you're
is.
also testing for effect, it's like, how do you test the effect of the second joint or the second test? You're still feeling the first one.
Correct. And that question's been around for a long time. Because when I was doing the expo with Treating Yourself, they had the cup.
Yeah.
So people would arrive Friday or Saturday, pick up their judging pass, and so this is early on in the cups, right? And they had to have the results in Sunday by noon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So how can you say
test 21 strains
with confidence that edible right there fucked me up? Because
well,
it was
we didn't
the
have
12th,
edibles.
Yeah.
TY just had herb.
the flour. But I mean, like, if you're doing it now, it's like, was it the fact that it was the 12th edible that I ate? Or was it really that strong? No, it was the 12th edible.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to eat one edible and then wait a couple hours.
But like you're saying, if you don't have enough time,
if it takes you a couple hours to get hit by it, then holy smokes, it's really weak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or the onset is ridiculous. That would get a lot of people in trouble because people wouldn't feel anything.
Well,
especially a new consumer.
There's I will say there's something with that. I think it's called like nano emulsification or whatever that is that they do now in the legal side. I don't know if they're doing it on the illegal side, but I'm just saying I bought a teapot drink, 5 milligrams, and I drank it on the way home. And before I got home, I felt a little buzzed. And I'm like, how do I even, it's been like 40 minutes. It's supposed to take 2 to 4 hours. I'm like, what? How does it?
Because we look at THC as being fat soluble and not water soluble. All right. So they've created a product that is water soluble with THC, and it dissolves in the it's in the drinks and all that, and it absorbs faster into your system,
in your bloodstream.
Correct. That's the thing, is it's a quicker absorption rate.
Yeah.
And
I feel like Marcel, I can hear Marcel right now with a whole lesson on this.
Yeah, I imagine. Unfortunately, I can't give you a whole lesson on this.
Yeah, no, I can hear him. Something to do with binding to the fats and the all of it.
I have purchased stuff that you can add to any beverage.
Yeah.
From the stores.
I have some the droppers. I've got them too.
Yeah. Now, do you notice that when you drop it into your beverage, that it starts to sort of go a little fuzzy, or like there's action happening around where that drop is?
I will say yes, but I've only ever put it in hot liquids. So I assumed that was the heat that was making it like.
Yeah. No, that's I look at that as that's the infusion going on right then. Yeah.
I honestly, I will say I don't like the taste of them. I feel like it's got a very like almost resinous aftertaste. I don't like it.
Yeah, I haven't been happy with any of the ones I've had as well. And I actually took one company's and I put 2 into my beverage, and I dumped it out.
Oh, yeah. Tastes too much like chemical to me, like a distillate. Like I don't want to drink distillate.
So what, as I've done a review in a past show, that was the, I get my THC
I remember that.
THC base from Legacy 420, down Taganaga, and I had okay, now because it's made out of full extract, you can taste some cannabis. The stronger the dose you take, the more of the cannabis you're going to taste.
Sure.
Okay.
So if you don't like the taste of cannabis, then steer clear.
Yeah. Now I was asked, well, by a fellow, does it dissolve? Or does it settle? And I said, oh, I put it in, I gave it a stir, and I've never had to re-stir it. I don't get a big strong gulp of
oil
at the end. And when I picked up my last order, a lady from the lab came out, and she told me that it dissolves in both fat and water soluble. They use it in all their pops. They use it in their chocolate milk. And with Christmas coming up, eggnog as well. It's in there. I've had the chocolate milk. It's really good. And then so with this, when I take it and I add it to my pineapple mango juice, I can see, not as much, but I can see that action going on when I drop it into the beverage. I can see that little yeah.
Almost looks like it's just mixing it.
The infusion happening. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least it's better than like when you put the oil on top of your tea. And I figure because it's hot, it's going to like dissipate. Nope. Just sits in a little.
It just sits there, a little puddle.
Why? I might as well just put it in my mouth and take a swig of the tea.
Correct.
Yeah. That's how I know it now.
I looked at the stuff from the legal industry maybe being some type of synthetic THC. I'm not sure. I have no clue. But
we need to get everybody on and tell us.
Yeah. And, Legacy doesn't have synthetic stuff down there. So it'll be interesting. I have to maybe dig into that a little further to find out what's going on. So, okay. That Juby is out. It is done. And it burned all the way through. I didn't really have to relight it.
I didn't hear you coughing.
I coughed once.
Okay. But it wasn't enough that I noticed.
Well, there you go. Exactly.
Like you weren't hacking. I have friends that literally have to mute during phone conversations because they're hacking their brains out.
I do that during some of our broadcasts because I'm using a vape pen when I'm inside. Yeah. And it doesn't matter whether it's a distillate or a live rosin. I still cough. I cough more. I cough much more with the distillate.
Okay. I find I sneeze. Any sort of concentrates make me sneeze.
Oh.
Or high THC, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneeze. Wow, really?
Yeah, it tickles the nose.
Would that be an allergic reaction?
I don't know. It tickles my nose, and then I'd usually give out 3 or 4 sneezes, and then I'm fine.
What about joints?
Too high of THC. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You need to get some of that venom then. That's it. It said it was 36%, up to 36%.
No.
Well, see, now with the stuff at the OCS website,
Mm-hmm.
I know they do testing of products.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta hope that something that came in that said it was up to 36%, it would just be grabbed and tested to verify.
The problem with, like, I'm looking at one right here. I'm not even going to say the name of it, but the range is 23.5% THC to 29.5% THC. That's a big difference.
That's a big
23
difference.
to 29.
They're allowed, I believe it's like 15% plus or minus as far as like a range.
Yeah. But you know why it's
the
like
actual
that
result
is
might be in
because,
the middle there.
well, some of the grow is 23.5 and some of the grow is 29.5. So, I mean, when a lot of people don't even know this, but when you get the package at the store, you can ask, if you go in to look at the strain, ask to see the back of the package. It will show you what that bag's percentage is.
Yeah.
That bag has it's been tested, and it'll tell you that's what it is. Now, is that what it is?
Yeah. Do they really test each individual bag?
Not the bag, the crop.
Oh, yeah.
Crop.
The crop.
But the reason why this says 23.5 to 29.5 is because they've had crops that have come in at this and crops that have come in at that.
Yeah, and they still have to meet their tolerance levels.
You know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think there was a time there where there were some of them were just buying up like a standard bag and just using it and not actually doing it batch wise. And they got slapped for that. So
the whole testing thing is just, it's confusing, and
correct.
For like I said, there are things that I don't understand, and that's okay, because my brain's only so big, it can only handle so much, and those are things I don't need to worry about. There's somebody else that gets paid to worry about that.
That's right, someone else does. And I go back, Legacy 420, they got a lab right there. They test their own products.
Yeah.
And I have no reason not to trust them. I've done the tours several times and talked with them staff and
Yep.
So, all righty. Well, anything else offhand? I see we're almost the 2-hour mark.
I think we're good. I think we've talked about everything.
I believe so. We've checked off the list on the on everything as far as our segments. We're all finished up. So we might as well say.
The last thing I will say, if you haven't got your Halloween costume picked out, at least in your head, get on it and go get the things, because it's coming up real quick.
Yeah, actually, talking about Halloween, for October the 31st, there is an event in Toronto, a cannabis event.
On the 31st?
On the 31st, correct.
Oh, that's right. You sent it to me.
Yes.
That'll be in next week's.
That'll be in next week's
notices.
Okay, because that's the 29th. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. So upcoming. Listen for it.
Yes. Be
Halloween,
ready.
come Toronto. You got it. It's always in Toronto. I know, it's so far to drive.
I know. I get FOMO all the time.
Yeah. All righty. Well, other than that, anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you all next week. Same time, same place. And don't forget to get high. I got to get the right button.
You're watching the 420 Pace Network, found at 420radio.ca and paceradio.net. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace Re-Rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.